Hey, so you got the ring, you're planning a wedding, and you're feeling the overwhelm. Well, you're at the right place. This is Gwen with Hello Enamorada. Welcome to the Nearly Wed series, vendor edition, where we're dropping and sharing useful resources for those planning a wedding. Enjoy this episode. Guys, welcome to this episode. This is Gwen with Hello Enamorada, and we have Carlos with Make It Happen here. Carlos, thank you so much for saying yes to coming on, with me and Mao.
It is an absolute pleasure to be here with you, Gwen, and Mao. And I can't wait to answer all your questions and share our knowledge as much as we possibly can.
Absolutely. I know that when we get started in this industry, we really do it out of the love for serving. And I'm grateful that, you said yes to showing up with us. So let's dive into the misconceptions that most people come with. So I know for me, every vendor has like a lot of misconceptions that come up whenever we meet leads for the first time. Tell us what some of those look like for you.
Yeah, I would say the biggest misconception in the floral design rental industry is how easy people think things are. So for example, most people think flowers are just a piece of cake. They're fun and easy to do, and they can easily DIY all these things. But what they don't understand is the process it takes to create an arrangement, from the planning, the ordering, to the processing of the different florals, to actually creating them, and not just making the arrangement, not just putting the arrangement in a vase, but actually transportation from our studio to the actual venue, to the actual party. Making sure these things stay alive. It's an entire process.
I've heard this before, right? And I'm sure you can tell me if this is true, but the moment that those florals are cut is the minute that they start dying, right? And so it's really, really important what happens between the time you cut your rose or a florals to having it up and going and making sure that it stays really good throughout, the 12 or 13 hours, however long that you're up.
Correct. Yeah. From the moment we trim those stems, from the moment they come out of those boxes, we trim the stem, they go in water. That's when their lifespan begins. So we do have a limited time from that time to the point of the event. And we have to make sure we get them at their perfect state the day of the event. Fully open, but not quite wilting just yet.
Beautiful. And that's only one little portion of everything you do, because Make It Happen is an entire all-inclusive design company.
Correct. We've become a full production company. We don't do just flowers. We don't do just chairs, but we create experiences. We transform spaces, whether it's with draping, structures, backdrops. I mean, I just found the love for what I do, and I really, really enjoy taking a blank canvas and making it a work of art.
I love it. And you really do justice to your name, because I've seen you do some really amazing things and making things happen that otherwise would not be available. And I know that the process of coming up with ideas to the point of making it happen and making it come alive, it's so hard, because I know from DIYing anything that Pinterest and YouTube, socials make it so easy, right? Because you're having this reel of very, very unrealistic expectations, but knowing from my experience that where I've tried to DIY, it's a total flop, right? And at the end of the day, you end up spending more money trying to correct that thing that just ruined, and you wouldn't want that to happen with your event and your on your day, specifically because I'm pretty sure you work with a lot of couples who want to wow their guests, right? That are really, really into the guest experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and to us, it's almost creating these things have become second nature to us. It's just something I can envision. The moment you come in, you give me your vision, you tell me you want to wow your guest. I can literally see it. I'm going to let you do the talking, tell me what you want, and I can already envision it.
I love it.
The moment you leave my shop, I can already see your event completed.
So fun. And so tell us a little bit about you're a design group now. What does that look like? And tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the industry. Give us a little insight on that.
So Make It Happen started a little bit over 12 years ago, when I was going to school to be a teacher. I always thought this was going to be something I would do on the side for a few years, get me through college, and then eventually I would go on to teaching, build a family, and that would be it. 12 years later, here we are with one of the biggest companies in Kern County, like I said, transforming spaces, making big,
I love it.
huge productions. Something I don't think I ever imagined, but I knew I loved from the very beginning. My team has grown from just being 2 people to 7 full-timers,
Oh,
plus so much extra hands, freelancers, and just so many people that come along to make these productions a reality on the
beautiful.
weekends.
And tell us about, so let's like catch up. Let's talk a little bit about like what industries you cover, what markets you cover.
Markets. So we cater to a huge variety of clients. We do everything from traditional weddings, quinceañeras, to our week-long South Asian Punjabi celebrations, which have taken just a huge, huge part of our business. We enjoy the tradition, the flair, the elegance that comes with an Indian wedding week. They've really become one of my favorite to design just because of the flexibility in color and just being able to think out of the box.
Love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And I love the fact that you are well versed in other markets, right? With the Latino community as well. And I see you create, things for weddings, create things for, create beautiful like scapes for quinceañeras. So you're multi-talented in so many ways.
Yeah, absolutely. The sky is the limit, really, when it comes to make it happen.
I love it. I love
You
it.
dream it, you can make it happen.
And when people call Make It Happen, do they speak to you? Are you doing the consultations?
I like to meet with every single one of my clients.
Wow.
Every single one comes through me. Every single one, no matter how big, how small, will end up speaking to Carlos.
Oh wow, this is
Carlos
amazing.
is Make It
You get
Happen.
access, you get access to, which is usually like very rare sometimes when you grow. That's like one of the last, people that you actually get to talk to is the owners. This is great that we
Yeah,
get to do that.
I really, really cherish my clients. I want them to feel taken care of. I want them
I love
to
it.
come in to my shop and really feel and know that their event's going to turn out just the way they want it. I want them to be comfortable and I want them to know they're taken care of.
Beautiful. And because you do the consultations, I'm going to give you kind of a question. If you were helping a relative plan an event or look for an event designer, what would be those things that you would coach them to look out for?
More than anything, I would say confidence. It's one of those things that I think any designer, any wedding vendor almost, I think, should have. Weddings are all about improvising, I feel. So many things go wrong on wedding day. And I feel that no matter in what category of vendor you're looking for, your vendor has to be able to just pivot when needed and really pull off the day seamlessly the way our couples dreamed it. So if I had to find somebody, that person would just have to have that trait.
I always say that like probably 60% of our job on the day is troubleshooting. Isn't that the case?
Right. Yeah.
Because nothing ever really goes as planned, but nobody would know that, right? From like just you showing up and making it seem so seamless
Yeah.
and amazing. So it's so great. So hitting back on the misconception question at the beginning, I'm sure you probably see this a lot happen where you see maybe clients come in with visions, right? And sometimes those visions or those ideas are super unrealistic and impractical. Can we touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is something we see many, many times. Like I said, I let my client come in, tell me their vision, tell me what they're thinking, and then I don't ever turn down an idea, but I give you the suggestions to make it better. So maybe you want to do an all-white wedding in a completely black space. I'm not going to tell you no, but I'm going to find the ways to explain, well, I don't think you're going in the right direction, but let's do this. Let's try this. I just think there are certain things that are very unrealistic. Not that they can't be done, but they can be very costly in our line of business.
Yeah, or impractical sometimes, right? And like you don't know what you don't know, especially I'm sure we've encountered markets or we've come in as customers to something and we had this notion, or because we did some Google search, we have an understanding, but it's not until you talk to the professional that they can break it down for you. Correct. And really figure out, like, work in the best interest of you, because I'm pretty sure you can sell them the really, costly things, but you're like, it's not going to work in your best interest. So as a vendor and as a service provider who is working in the best interest of the client, you say, I love where you're going, but these are the options that might be a better fit for your budget or what you're like looking for.
Correct. I think one of the things that has been brought up in the last few years, maybe because of just TikTok, social media influence, but the whole idea of repurposing florals, repurposing my church flowers on my sweetheart table, repurposing my centerpieces down the aisle. I think that is one of the biggest misconceptions out there as well.
Tell us why.
Why
is that?
Like I mentioned earlier, the whole transportation of flowers, it seems very easy, a very simple term, but there's so much that goes into it. There's so much that could happen to your flowers being transferred in the heat or in just adverse weather, not in proper vehicles from your church to your venue, or just your flowers sitting out in direct sun for 30 minutes before they go onto your guest tables can really, really harm them.
Especially in this heat, right?
Correct, especially in Bakersfield.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they've had like ideas and they don't know what that like weather looks like, as opposed to, the Bakersfield weather, like even starting in April, sometimes it just gets really, really high.
Yeah, and again, we don't turn down the idea completely. We will give you the suggestions to where you can repurpose, where you cannot. But it doesn't always work.
I love it. So I know that on the day of the wedding, we're all super hyper focused, like being very diligent on what skills in our area of expertise on the day, that we tend to sometimes like overlook other vendors, right? And I know it happens to me sometimes, especially on those days where it's like a high ticket wedding and we're just trying to, get the best shot done and get things done on time, or we're running behind that. Many times we put blinders on and we're just hyper focused on our thing. So let's talk a little bit about what the relationship looks like of other vendors working, with a planner or with an event designer, and what that might look like. Anything from like media. I'm sure sometimes, do you always do florals when you do your design?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time. Okay, so you don't generally work with like florists, but what are the other vendors that you wish maybe would know about working with, or take into consideration about working with you?
Well, one of the things I would mention would be just photography. I really appreciate when a photographer comes and actually takes the time to photograph details. I've taken the time to design these arrangements. Sometimes everything from your napkin fold, your silverware placement, there's work and detail that goes into those things. I really appreciate when photographers, for example, come out and actually take the time to photograph these details for our couples, for our clients, for them to see that those details, those minute little details that we talked about actually matter.
Yeah, because you're right. If the client hired you, it's usually because they love detail, or that's usually the thing. And being able to have that conversation also too with your photographer, that's important to you, is going to make it important to the photographer. And maybe even like you say, you know what, that's important to you. Let's add, like 1 extra hour.
Correct.
And so that we're there, a little bit extra, or let's add a second photographer so that they're there, to capture this thing. Because a lot of work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of money sometimes goes into, these great creations, and we all want to capture it in our best way, and I'm sure the client wants that too. So working in the best interest again of the client helps by having those conversations.
Correct.
I love it. Anything else? Anyone else that you think might overlook certain things?
I would say at times venues, just having, so just like it takes time to put this together back at the shop, it also takes time to come out to the venues and actually have enough time to set up as well as break down at the end of the event. Yeah, we all think of like making it look pretty, but we also have to consider the time it takes at the end of the night. I can't just go like this and get it all picked up. It's not a magic trick. It also takes time to actually put away vases, get rid of florals, pack everything up, take down backdrops. So
Beautiful.
I mean that could be another thing. Just being educated as far as like the time it takes to set up and break down an event.
Beautiful.
Because
Awesome.
It's also a process.
Beautiful. And then before we wrap up, are there any projects for Make It Happen? Are there anything that you're like looking forward to in this next season of your business?
I think just overall, and it's been something of Make It Happen has been working on for many, many years. It's just growth. We enjoy Bakersfield weddings. We enjoy the Bakersfield clientele, but we definitely want to expand to much bigger productions. I think the moment we created one big production, we fell in love and we only want to go bigger.
Are there any favorites of yours? Like what are like those clients that you're just like, I love working with these types of clients?
I wouldn't necessarily have a specific type of client. I would just say the client that comes with a flexible mentality is my favorite. The client that allows me to design and use my ideas rather than copying from a photo.
And that trust you ultimately, it's that trust, right?
Absolutely.
Essentially.
The trust
And it's so true because when the trust is there, I mean, you have this amazing flexibility of being able to even show off to the client, in ways that you normally wouldn't if you have someone, like really dictating, step by step what they want exactly. So that's so great. Oh my gosh, Carlos, thank you so much for taking like the time to hang out with Mao and I and like have a little chat. We appreciate you taking this time. We appreciate the work. We appreciate you showing up for like our community of vendors in the wedding industry. And like, hopefully we get to do this again.
Yeah, you're very, very welcome. It was amazing. We love the wedding industry. We love the community.
Yes.
We're very, very happy to be here.
Yes, high five. We did so great. Me and my hypohidrosis. Oh, they're dry. See, they're dry. Ta-da! We're done. We did it.